Hey, what's up, YouTube? I want to go ahead and make a kind of a card comparison video. The cards I'm going to be comparing today are Mystical Space Typhoon versus Night Beam. I'm going to go ahead and read the effects of Mystical Space Typhoon. Select one spell track card on the field and destroy it. You can use it on your cards or your opponent's cards. It's very specific. It's a quick place spell card, so you can set it and use it on your opponent's turn against them, and it's a very good chainable card you can use during the battle phase, and it's very good. Night Beam. Its card text reads, target one spell or track card your opponent controls, destroy that target. Your opponent cannot activate the targeted card in response to this card's activation. It's a normal spell card, so you can't use it on your opponent's turn or during the damage step. So there's a lot of there are some drawbacks to this card compared to Mystical Space Typhoon. So you may be wondering, well, overall, Mystical Space Typhoon seems like the better choice. But I'm going to go ahead and show some scenarios of why you may want to run Night Beam over Mystical Space Typhoon. And this is kind of a basic thing that most people may already know, but this is geared towards more newer players who may not understand card interaction and why certain cards are important. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show why. Let's say it's your turn and your opponent has one face down card. You play your Mystical Space Typhoon on their one face down card, which just so happens to be a Call of the Haunted. They play their Call of the Haunted, and their target in graveyard is Sangin. They special summon their Sangin. The chain resolves backwards, destroying their Call of the Haunted, thus allowing their Sangin to be destroyed and go back to the graveyard, and they'll search out their DD Crow or Effect Veiler, netting them the advantage and making you go minus, virtually wasting your Mystical Space Typhoon for nothing. Let's go back in that scenario. They have the face down card, and you play your Night Beam. That card cannot be targeted in response, so this Call of the Haunted cannot be chained to target the Sangin, which would grab the DD Crow. So it's a good one-for-one card. You're pretty much going to be guaranteed to activate the Night Beam and net the advantage of one-for-oneing instead of having that fear of if they have, the Call of the Haunted. So virtually you cannot blind this card. This card, you can activate it with little or no fear at all of what their face down may actually be. The flaws are pretty much like I said in the beginning of the video. You can't set this and do your end phase MSTs. So virtually it's going to be player preference of what you feel comfortable in playing, and it's all up to you. Again, same scenario. Your opponent has a face down card. You play your Mystical Space Typhoon. They chain it, and it was a Reckless Greed. That's another common scenario where you virtually wasted your MST. This cannot happen if you Night Beam it. Night Beam does not say that nothing can be activated upon its response. So let's say you decided to Night Beam their face down card and they activated something like Dark Bribe or Solemn Judgment. In the end, I virtually believe that the Night Beam still served its purpose, because you playing Night Beam on that set card, if they were forced to activate another card to save that card, more than likely that card is something that in the long run they needed or was going to net them some form of advantage in the duel. And so that's one reason I would play Night Beam over Mystical Space Typhoon. But again, it also depends on the deck. If I was going to say some of the decks that are really good with Night Beam, it would be OTK decks. For example, Heretics, decks that rely on good one-for-one advantage, such as Hero Beats, possibly Monarchs, anything where you want to get that one-for-one and virtually beat your opponent down to where they have no more combos to use against you. There's really not much else to say about Night Beam. It's going to be personal player preference. If you want to play test with the card, I'd say go ahead and do it. There's nothing you couldn't go wrong with it. If you virtually feel that you like the chainable aspects of Mystical Space Typhoon, then I would continue playing that. But if you want to tech in one or two, or even play a playset of Night Beam, it's unlimited, so you can go ahead and do that. Thanks for watching the video. I hope this video helped inform people of why Night Beam is actually pretty important and the uses that you can use Night Beam with. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and tell me which one you prefer to play. Thanks for watching this video, and I'm going to be signing out.